The most important meal of the day, second breakfast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Second Breakfast podcast. I'm Andy Roth alongside Phil Duvall. Say hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
It's been a while since you've done that.
And it was honestly, it came out like I wasn't even planning it.
All right, say goodnight, Gracie. Goodnight, Gracie.
It's not that. The thing is, every time you do it, you think it's funny, and then the moment you've done it, you're like, that wasn't funny.
But every time George Burns and Gracie Allen did it, it was funny.
That's true, but that's them, and I'm not them.
You're you.
I'm not. That's right, and which is inferior to George and Gracie. Let's just be honest about that.
Well, if that's true, that puts you in a minority of literally everyone in the world who is not George Burns or Gracie Allen, so we're fine.
It's kind of amazing, that guy.
Yeah. Yes.
So Andy,
Phil,
did you see the pictures of where I was on Thursday night?
I didn't, but I want you to tell me about them.
Have you heard about Puddles the Clown?
I lied. I have seen these pictures, and they were the creepiest things I've ever seen in my life.
Why is everyone creeped out by a 6'5" clown? I don't understand at all. I really don't. Like, I've never been scared of clowns. When I was a kid, I went to the circus a couple times. The circus, by the way, is terrible. And I actually, looked forward to the clowns. I was like, these guys are funny. We all love funny people who do funny things, and we like people who dress up funny. Why does everyone... And Tim Curry as Pennywise in It is not a good enough reason to be scared of all clowns ever. It's just not.
You're right. Here's the deal.
If you knew John Wayne Gacy personally, then you might be afraid of clowns forever.
Right. No, see, here's the deal. I'm not scared of clowns. I was not scared of clowns as a child.
Good answer.
The picture in question, folks, Second Breakfast Nation, the picture that I find creepy is Phil looking up at a clown that is looking down at him, who is looking down at him. They are like a foot and a half apart. They are like
barely
in each other's personal bubble.
It was about a second right before I gave him the biggest hug I've ever given a clown.
And the lighting makes it seem like a club where every single drink has GHB in it. Like every single drink. So you tell me, Phil, if it's the clown that makes that picture creepy.
I think this is a perfect segue into our topic today, believe it or not. Because it's all about context. And I think you're right. I get what you're saying, except I had just spent an hour watching this amazing clown perform one of the most wonderful concerts I've ever been to. If you don't know who Puddles the Clown is, puddles like little puddles of water, look up Puddles Pity Party. He became famous originally for doing a cover of the song Royals by Lorde.
Okay.
Literally has 4 million clicks on it. Like, it's an actual...
All right.
So you're like, why is a clown doing cover songs of 17-year-old Australian girls? Watch it, and then you tell me why. I mean, really, go look up Puddles, go watch his stuff. It's amazing and captivating, and it's like, at first you kind of think of it as trivial or like a trifle or a joke, but then try to watch it only once, because something inside of you will make you want to watch it again and again and again, and then look at other songs of his. So we went and saw him live, and it was one of the coolest shows I've ever seen. It was just so special, and I went with my wife. We took our little son, put headphones on him so he could fall asleep, and our mutual friend Jeremy came with us. And it was, Andy, it was special. It was.
I believe you. I just think, okay, all right.
So,
I saw the pictures. And I think, I'm not gonna.
No, and I guess my point is, I can see how I guess people having no context for it at all, that would be super creepy. And
sure.
But I want to say two things about that. One, fair enough, mea culpa. Go experience Puddles, and then we can have a conversation about it for reals. Two, I don't believe anyone is nearly as scared as clowns as people say they are. The whole, my wife and I have been discussing this, that the clowns are creepy or I'm afraid of clowns thing is more of a thing than
an actual thing.
I am scared of spiders.
Yeah.
And what that means is like, I'm not trying to brag about it. I don't go, like, oh, I'm scared of spiders. I don't try to talk about it or like whatever, except for right now because it's part of the conversation.
Right, because we're doing a podcast.
Right. But when I see a spider, no matter how small, my first instinct is to flee the area.
Yes.
I may not do that. I may do a lot of other things.
Right. Yes.
But my first instinct is and anything I do that is not running away is utter self-control. I have the deepest, like, I have dreams about them.
Yeah.
Like scary dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm terrified of spiders. I don't believe that all the people who are creeped out by clowns are actually afraid of clowns the way they say they are. I think it's just kind of trendy to be afraid of clowns. I really do.
I have two things to say about that. Three. One, I agree with you. I fundamentally agree with you. Two, it's possible to be scared of something in a different way. Like, I'm scared of like another economic collapse, like 2008. But my first instinct wouldn't be to flee. So I will absolutely agree with you that I don't think many people are scared of clowns the way you are scared of spiders. But I know that that's not really what you're saying. Also, you've heard my story about why I am terrified of spiders. Should I share it, or would it cause no one to ever?
Here's what I will say. I am not kidding when I tell you I have blocked it out of my mind. I remember you telling me a story. I remember not being happy to know about it, and that's literally all I remember. So I think let's keep it there.
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure I do want to hear this story, and I'm not sure that it would be good for the good people of America. And China. Can we talk about China?
Let's talk about China, but first, America, Ireland, South Africa, China. Email us at secondbreakfastpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to hear my story about spiders, let us know, and I will overrule Phil's. I'll override his veto.
I don't like that decision. I didn't okay that. That's not a thing.
I don't think I have to. I don't think I have to run it by you, Chief.
I think we're going to need to reevaluate the nature of this relationship.
I am constantly reevaluating the nature of our relationship. But Phil,
Fair enough. Yes.
I do want to talk about China. What do you have to say about China?
Well, one of our viewers and listeners, two of our viewer listeners from China will no longer be in China. Actually, and our third one that had been from China has been back from China for a year. We may not have any more Chinese expat listeners after this.
Well, the two that we're going to talk about today are going back. It's just for the summer.
I don't understand that at all, but I believe that that's true. I just don't know.
They're teachers. They have summer vacation. They're spending it in a different country.
I can't imagine
America.
the country of their origin.
Yes.
I can't imagine coming back to the United States for a summer and being like, hey, let's go back to China. I'd be like, I'm here again. Like, they've been in the bubble for a while, right? Like, they've been in China for like a while.
Sure. Yes.
So I could see them being like, we'll go back to America, we'll visit people, then we'll come back home and we'll come to China. And I feel like they're going to get back here and be like, what were we thinking? Like, that's just how I think. I mean, and I am a terrible xenophobe. I don't know why people
Phil,
would.
do you want to get us banned in China? If they do go back to China, they're not going to be able to listen to us. Come on.
Are we not banned in China already?
That's probably true.
Okay,
probably
so
true.
they're coming back from China, and one of them, his name is Evan, longtime listener and occasional contributor,
Indeed.
And good friend of Andy's and good acquaintance of mine, wrote us a question. It's kind of like a mailbag question, but we wanted to expand on it, so into a larger topic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about, to me, and that's why context plays into this a lot. Can we talk for a second about? So what do you think? Let's. Do you want to read the question, or how do you want to handle this?
I do, but before that, I want to make note and tell you, Phil, because you haven't heard this. Evan was clearly listening or watching a recent podcast of ours where you talked about the movie Teeth.
Oh.
And so I
did talk about that.
A text message or like an iMessage from Evan, the entirety of which was dentata, and I'm just gonna leave that there.
Perfect.
I love.
What else is there to say?
I love this kid like a brother. Okay, so
when he comes back to the States of United, where is he going to be?
I'm gonna guess a little bit in Ohio. I'm gonna guess a little bit in New York. I'm gonna guess a little bit in Louisiana. I don't know where Josie.
I mean, if you're trying to create a list of places that will make you want to go back to China, I think you've created a pretty good list there.
Be nice. Be nice. We have
In the summer. My point is that that's not like they have family and that's important, but like Ohio, Texas, and Ohio, New York, and Louisiana during the summer, it's like
I mean,
it's not.
You make not a terrible point. But instead of insulting parts of our great nation, how about we dive in? Yes?
Read the question, Andy.
From Evan. Hi guys. Hi Evan. And Josie.
Hey, Evan.
I'll be headed back to the US for the summer. You know I live in China. And now, Evan, so does the entirety of Second Breakfast Nation. You know I live in China, where aside from the podcast, I don't get to hear much about movies unless I go myself to read about them online. That never happens. I know all the words he just used. I'm not sure what they mean.
How do they all go together and make a real coherent? I don't.
Yeah. I will have, next weekend, a 14-hour flight with a video player and lots of movies embedded in the seat in front of me. They tend to be a good mix of movies from the last couple months, and then crowd pleasers. Of course, I also am a sucker for things that will make me excited to be back home. Read crap that only the USA can make, like The Internship. Okay. I swear that the first thought I have when I get on the plane and see what is playing is, what would Andy and Phil suggest I watch? Evan, you're doing it right. You know?
I mean, that's all. Really, I could die now.
That's right.
It would be a weird podcast. It'd be weird. And on this episode,
Phil,
you should just watch.
You should just watch. And if you're interested in being the new co-host, I would wait at least a week before replacing you if you died, Phil.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank
at
you.
Least. But you already have a list of people you'd replace me with, right?
And by wait, I mean I would use that week to reach out to the people that are on my list. I
you know what's great is if you died, I wouldn't even replace you. I would just talk blankly at the computer. It wouldn't get recorded. Like, and people would be like, and I'd ask people, why aren't you listening to the podcast? And they'd be like, Phil, what are you talking about?
Oh my god. Awesome. So awesome. Our relationship is far closer to like Paul Sheldon and Annie Wilkes from Misery than I think I would like to admit. Okay, moving on. The first thought I have when I get on the plane and see what's playing is, what would Andy and Phil suggest I watch? I realized today that I may not even have to wonder. I would love for each of you to curate a movie experience for me for a back of the seat screen from the list of what will be available. I never know what exactly I'll be in the mood for, so I've come up with some categories. You should feel free to take these or replace them with your own better ones. Evan, that requires work, so we're just going to use yours. Category 1, not to be missed. Category 2, good jet lag proof fun. Mealtime, specifically appropriate for viewing during in-flight meals. So not a lot of gross out horror movies. I'm gonna just guess. And then, wait for it, who likes puns? Perfect. Perfect.
Nope.
Perfect. Movies I should insist
saying
Josie. Perfect. Movies I should insist Josie watch with me simultaneously. Further clarification: she hates superhero movies. Okay. Look,
Josie, who doesn't? Let's be honest. I don't think anyone likes them anymore. I don't believe anybody. I think nobody likes them, and we just watch them.
I thoroughly enjoyed Captain America 2. I thoroughly enjoyed X-Men.
You might like the movie, but I think like there's a part of us that's just like in our hearts that's like, another superhero movie, off we go. And we might enjoy them, they might be well executed. Maybe that's just me.
No, I'm not, I don't.
Does anyone really believe that the Marvel grand plan that's supposed to last till 2028 is not going to crumble sometime between now and 2028?
Here's my rebuttal to that. Still going to be better than whatever DC is doing.
You might be right. All right.
I don't know that I agree with you, but I no longer know that I disagree with you. So, the list is below. Folks, we're not going to rate the list to you. It's a million movies long. With movies I've seen before, prepended with an asterisk. I'm paying zero attention to movies you've seen before, because I own hundreds of movies.
How does he know all of these movies are available? That's a question.
I think he went on the airline's website, maybe?
It's crazy.
Maybe? There we go. So, how do you want to do this? You want to just, talk about the movies that we put in?
Categories, but I want to say something.
Okay.
Wait, movies that he's seen before with an asterisk, and Goodfellas doesn't have an asterisk. Oh, Evan.
But
Here's an idea. Watch Goodfellas
but
for
Anchorman
every
2 has
category.
it. But
Okay, sorry, what were you going to
Anchorman
say?
2 does. But Anchorman 2 does. And World War Z.
I don't even have like a place in my heart for where to place that.
I know. I know.
I want to say a little bit about the experience, about the plane ride experience. I think riding in a plane is a magical time. I'm still not really one who accepts that Wi-Fi is available while on an airplane. If someone Facebook messages me, for instance, and they're like, "Hey, I'm on my way to Ohio," and I'm like, "Are you in the airport?" And they're like, "No, I'm on the airplane." I'm kind of like, "Don't talk to me." Like,
right. You're gonna crash.
I'm not. My Bible tells me to not to take part in witchcraft, and that seems really like Ouija-esque. Dude, there's a movie coming out about Ouija boards. I'm pretty sure it's called Ouija. I will never see that movie. Like, just so you understand, I probably will never even mention its existence again.
Yeah,
I don't kid around about
right,
this stuff.
But it's not being done. It's not being done as like a found footage horror movie. It's being done the same way that, as I understand it, it's being done by like they did a Battleship movie. You know.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So, anyways, there is a special sort of bubble, a special sort of place that exists when you're on an airplane. There was a time I've traveled a lot. I've been on a lot of airplanes. It's the time when your phone doesn't work, when your internet. It used to be that your internet wasn't a part of your life then either, and if you did it right, you didn't have any like real homework. And it was either a time when you could just read a great book or watch a movie or two. And then there's the added, like, you have very little control over what you get to watch. Although that has expanded. There's a much larger sort of place. But so a lot, like, I saw a ton of movies growing up on planes that I hadn't seen before. I saw Rudy for the first time on a plane. I saw Of Mice and Men for the first time on a plane. I saw a lot of random stuff. Things that you wouldn't normally watch. So, for instance,
which version of Mice and Men?
Oh, when it had just come out. Gary Sinise, Malkovich.
Malkovich, nice.
Like, it had just come out then. I don't mean just now, but that.
No, right.
That was essentially my introduction. That was essentially my introduction to Gary Sinise and John Malkovich.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah. I'm sure I'd seen Malkovich in something else before, but I'd have to look at his filmography. But that was, I think, the thing that made them both people that I knew who they were. Mm-hmm. And really a stunning, really well done movie, at least what I remember from being on a plane and crying like an absolute infant for the last 20 straight minutes.
Right.
So I think of movie time on the planes. I saw Drive on the airplane.
Okay.
Speaking of the category of in the U.S. where only craptacular U.S. type things, which is, by the way, such nonsense. The craptacular movies of other countries don't get here.
That's true.
So let's not... Like, every movie made in India is super great. Okay, let's just be clear about that.
Watch it. You step off Bollywood, tough guy.
No, Bollywood makes more movies than Hollywood, which means there's no way that most of them are good.
That's right.
That's all I mean by that.
Accurate.
So my point is, I saw The Hills Have Eyes, the remake.
Woof.
That was a terrible film. Woof, literally. I'm glad you said woof because the dog was the smartest character in the entire film. Literally. The smartest character in the entire film.
Nah,
so to me, I love this question because it's not just here's a list of movies, what should I watch? And it's not just here's a list of movies, what should I watch that fits these categories? It's actually here's a list of movies, what should I watch that fits these categories while I'm in a magical flying box in the middle of the sky in a strange fantasy wonderland where nothing else is. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Very exciting for me.
Yes. So here is my... it's so cool that you have that sort of like background with movies on planes. I love it. I think that's fantastic. I do not. I don't. As Phil and I were discussing before the podcast, I've taken some long plane flights in my life, been to Europe and stuff, and but they, like, the times I was going to Europe, mostly I was with like a big group for my school, and so I was talking to people there, or they didn't, or you had to pay for the movie or something. And when I was going back and forth to school, or when I was living in New York, I was going back and forth to or in law school. Houston's in the middle of the country, so there just isn't like there just aren't that many flights that have a movie when the flight is 3.5 hours long. That's just not something that they do, really. And so I never, you were going, from Boston to California and back, and that you just had more opportunity.
Yeah.
And so here is I am sure I watched something at some point, but here is the I have this is my movie on a plane experience, and it's like it's not only the one that sticks out in my head, it's like the only one I have. The Sense and Sensibility movie that is just wonderful with Emma Thompson and Hugh Grant and everybody in the world and
Kate Winslet and Alan Rickman.
Right, and it's like and Hugh Grant is like, my heart is yours, like that one, like right. We were watching it, and I wasn't paying attention for the first 5 minutes because I was a high school boy and I was with other high schoolers, so I was trying to be cool. Because if I was alone, I'd be like, yes, Sense and Sensibility,
right?
Yeah. Even though, don't email me about this. I don't love Jane Austen. Meh. Anyway, but I love movies.
Don't email me about this. But for the record, don't. I mean, you could. I'm not gonna read it.
Yeah, I'm just delete. Click. So, and I got really into it, and all the people around me, all of my classmates, got really into it. We're like, yes. And here's how far we got. We got all the way to the end. It was like, my heart is.
Stop. No.
And Hugh Grant was frozen, and it was like an hour before the thing, before we landed. But it was like an hour before we landed, but there was turbulence, so they paused the movie to tell us about it. And there was like a glitch, and they never turned it on again.
Oh. Wait, so where were you headed to?
Scotland.
So you guys went all the way from Texas to Scotland, and there was only one movie on the flight?
There was one movie that we watched. There may have only been one.
Because I've done a couple of international flights, and the best thing is how many movies can I crush out? Right. How many movies can I crush out?
Right.
So that's huge.
And so in the meantime, I have DVDs and things like that, and sometimes I upload from the DVD to my computer, so I don't even need to mess with the actual disc. But the flights now, I don't even mess with they still don't have movies. But I find myself, time gets away from you on a plane because you doze for 20 minutes, and all of a sudden you can't finish a movie. So I use that time to do TV shows, actually.
Sure.
Yeah. So
no, I think TV shows are a legitimate way to spend your time too, because I think it's really funny, especially because they'll show things like they would. I don't watch 2.5 Men, for instance, but if they were showing an episode of it on TV, on the TV on the screen, I was like, I guess I'll watch that.
Right. Yes.
Yes. Which is a weird attitude, but it is what happens. So I guess what you're saying is that I just am an expert on this and you're not, and that's fine. No, I'm kidding. Here's
the deal. I'm gonna interrupt you because I like doing that. I am saying that. I am saying you are an expert and I am not. So let me give you one guideline.
Okay. Just imagine, here's 2 guidelines. One. So Lord of the Rings are on here. Don't watch Lord of the Rings on an airplane. Not because it's not glorious, and the idea of I could watch all 3 does sound really appetizing because you're just sitting there. I do believe that. Mm-hmm. But remember how small your screen is.
Yeah.
Here's a perfect. Not all action movies are bad, but most are. Here for watching them on the back of the screen. Here's an example. I forget the name of this movie. I believe it was called Eagle Eye, and it starred Shia LaBeouf and some woman who I forget already, being chased around and the camera was watching.
Was it Michelle Monaghan?
Yes, it was. Yes. That is an example of a perfect action movie to watch on an airplane, which is exactly where I watched it.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
I didn't watch this on an airplane, but that movie that Jake Gyllenhaal was in a couple years back, that was a really popular B movie where it was the train movie, the time traveling. Source Code is another example of a perfect movie to watch on a plane.
Yes.
there is a perfect combination of something always happening
Right.
and brainlessness and action, but not action that would be so much better served on a ginormous screen.
Uh-huh.
So if you can imagine small scale action.
Sure.
So like the Train movie with Denzel Washington. Or
Unstoppable.
almost any movie that The Rock has been in.
Sure.
These are airplane movies like of sublime level.
Okay.
So it's a different. It doesn't mean you can't watch good movies. The other thing is, for instance, I watched Shadow of a Doubt on a plane.
Awesome.
I did like a Hitchcock marathon.
Love it.
And sometimes you and I have talked about the fact that like old movies, sometimes you have to get yourself into the mindset to watch an old. Not so much you. I have to get myself into a special mindset to watch an old movie. Once I get myself there, I'm very happy. Planes will put you in that place because it's another place.
That's true.
So older movies are automatically, and movies that are just sort of off the beaten track are automatically going to be on that list.
I like it. I like
Okay.
what you're saying. I like what you're saying. I'm
So
taking
okay,
extra
so
laying
go,
down.
so go ahead. So let's move on.
Okay. Again, Evan, thank you for being exhaustive in your movie list, but there's just not a chance that we're listing all of these, and because of it, I'm sure we're going to miss some stuff.
I will immediately not have him pick any of the movies he's already seen.
A, I love where your head's at. B, I just don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Especially...
Can I say something? Of course you don't.
I just... Because... Come on. Well, mostly because rewatch a movie, dude. Just rewatch it. Because if
There's so many on here he hasn't seen. That's prime catching up territory.
Here's the deal, though, Phil. He's going to fall asleep. Why not have a movie that you've already seen? So you can... Either it's really good and you can... You know, and also, here's a question. He's seen the movie Look Who's Talking, right? Has he seen it in the last decade? That's something he doesn't tell us. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I'm not saying that that's going on.
I'm going to
any of
guess
my
no.
categories.
I'm going to guess no.
I likewise will guess no. Okay, so not to be missed. Also, Evan, could you alphabetize this thing for us? I mean, come on.
Holy moly, this is ridiculous.
It's absurd.
Okay.
You got one? Because
I'm gonna hold this one till later, but go ahead. I'm gonna hold this for the perfect category.
Perfect. Okay. For not to be missed, Junebug.
Okay.
Junebug. This would work with Josie as well. It is. I dare you to watch this movie and not fall in love with Amy Adams. As if you needed another reason to fall in love with Amy Adams.
Yeah, you can see why the world fell in love with her when you watch this.
Indeed. I can keep going, or you can throw something out, whatever you want. You know.
Okay. I think not to be missed. Okay. I think not, and I've got an Amy Adams movie coming up. Okay. I think Junebug is a lovely choice. So I'm not going to list it, but I think that's perfect.
Sure. I'm also not. I won't repeat anything that you say.
Okay.
I might mention it would go in a different category for me, but I won't repeat anything you say.
I have to say Goodfellas.
Oh, sure.
Like I have to say Goodfellas.
Yes.
Because you've never seen it, because it would look good on any screen, and because it's so much fun, and it will make the great thing about Goodfellas is it is a nearly 3-hour movie that doesn't feel 3 hours, and so it will help your time fly in a really beautiful way.
I love that. I love it.
This may show up in another category possibility as well.
Sure.
But we'll get to that.
I'm gonna give it. Here's not to be missed. 48 hours. 48 hours. One of the greatest action comedies of all time.
Yes. Agreed.
I don't believe... I mean, Josie is certainly no blushing flower when it comes to profanity, because I have spoken around her and she doesn't hate it.
This isn't necessarily a movie that she's going to watch with him, because there's the later...
Right. I'm just trying to, like, I'm wondering, like, even outside of the perfect category.
Please stop.
even outside of that category, I mean, she is sitting right there. I don't know that she'll love that, but because it is. I mean, it is. It's not just like profane. It's like 80s profane. So there's
It's back when a white guy would call a black guy bad words straight to his face.
Yes.
And that didn't make the white guy a bad guy.
Yes.
A little awkward. Awkward.
Just because you're a bad guy does not
make you bad guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
I'm going to throw a couple other out there that I think fit into my in real life. Is this movie to be missed? Maybe, maybe not. On an airplane, watch The Age of Innocence. Watch Daniel Day-Lewis and Winona Ryder and Michelle Pfeiffer, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Made by Martin Scorsese, period piece.
I've never seen it.
Maybe watch it with Josie. That might show back up in the perfect category, but not to be missed. I'm also going to throw, and this is a weird movie to put on this category, but I'm going to put Nebraska in this category.
Love it. I love it.
There's Evan. People get into different moods. You talk about different moods. Goodfellas will make the time fly. Like Goodfellas is literally one of my 2 or 3 favorite movies of all time, and not one of the 2 or 3 best movies of all time. Although it's probably that too. One of my 2 or 3 favorite, which means it's so much fun that you forget how much time is flying by, and you forget like that anything could possibly ever be anything. It's just you live in this world, and you can't imagine, for instance, why Ray Liotta didn't become the greatest actor of all time just watching this movie. For instance. Okay, Nebraska is a not to be missed, but it's a not to be missed if you are very awake. If you're even remotely tired, you will fall asleep during Nebraska.
Yep.
If you are very awake and just kind of ponderous.
Yeah.
If you are in a ponderous mood and you want to sort of wander a little bit, watch Nebraska, and you will be and you will be. I mean, you should see it anyway. It will feed you. It will feed you. But I think it's a movie that you should watch. Definitely, like when you have a sort of, if you have to be you have to be ready to sit still, and be perfectly comfortable. If you are restless. Don't watch Nebraska.
Yep.
Okay, but if you're chill, if you're going to have like a beer or whatever you drink on the plane and just be, maybe that.
Sure.
No?
I love it. And see Nebraska. See Nebraska on the plane, see Nebraska off the plane, see it with a fox, see it in a box. It's true. It's wonderful. A point of order. He has listed here Romeo and Juliet. My answer is, if it's the Zeffirelli version, sure, go ahead. I wouldn't say it's not to be missed, but why not?
Sure.
If it's Romeo plus Juliet,
William Shakespeare's Romeo plus Juliet
by Baz Luhrmann.
Nope.
No, don't.
Nope.
Now
Nope.
The acting is wonderful. He can. Baz Luhrmann can direct the hell out of an actor.
I believe you. I think that's true.
And Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes and everyone, John Leguizamo, everyone in that movie is wonderful. But here's what you don't want in a movie on a plane, and I say this without any experience really with movies on planes. You don't want a movie that will induce motion sickness. And Baz Luhrmann movies induce they do in me.
Induce. They induce. That wasn't the word, but that's now the truth.
That's now the
word. Don't watch that.
So here I have two. I have two that are next to each other just because they share a word in the title. They have nothing to do with each other, but I think they are both not to be missed. One will show up again in a later category. Big and Big Night.
I have both of those in separate categories, not this category.
I love it. They are Big is one of the reasons that Tom Hanks is who he is right now. So
his first Academy Award nomination was for Big, which is not the end all be all at all. We know that, but it's an interesting decision, and it is still, to me, his definitive, not his best performance by some definition, but to me it's the definitive Tom Hanks performance. It is the bridge between the silly and the serious that is Tom Hanks, and Big is one of my most beloved movies.
Agreed.
I love Big so much I can't even.
I think Big is my favorite movie of all time that I don't own. I'm not.
You know what? I was just, as we were saying this, thinking, how do I not own Big?
Yes,
how is that a thing that's true?
I think Big is my favorite movie of all time that I don't own. And Big Night, I want you to copy and paste everything that Phil said about Nebraska and just paste it onto Big Night.
So here's a great point. So don't watch Nebraska and big night
Yeah, that's
on
right.
your flight. This
That's
is an
right.
either or thing. You're going to have to be careful on how you pick and choose here.
That's right. Maybe one
This
on the
could
way
be a-
here, one on the way back.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea. It's a
Yeah.
very good idea.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Do we want to move on to the next category?
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Category.
Category.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, no. I can wait for that one.
Okay.
What is the next category? The next category is good jet lag proof fun. I want you to define
Love this category.
Define
Love
it
this
for
category.
me. Define it for me. Like,
Well,
what are
I'll
you
define
looking
it
for?
Let me define it for you by listing the movies that I am picking for him. Okay.
Okay.
This to me is the classic movie on a plane category, and I'm going to list movies that I haven't even seen. I saw this list and I'm like, what would I want to watch in that category? Good jet lag proof fun that I can watch. And this is where you might make some bad decisions. I just want you to know.
Okay.
This is okay. So here's my tentative list.
All right.
Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know, but I mean, come on. It needs to you need to be able to be like, blah, 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 blah. Homefront. Homefront would be a perfect category.
Have
for
you
this.
seen that movie? Have you
No,
seen it?
of course not.
Phil,
Because I haven't. Because it's not been on a plane when I was on a plane.
Phil, I have seen it, and even though you introduced me to this category and what it means about 5 seconds ago,
Now you understand what this category is for.
yes, I do.
This is the definition of the category.
Indeed.
A movie where Jason Statham plays an American, first of all, full stop. An American ex-cop who is down in the bayou and goes up against meth kingpin James Franco, and it is all written, and it was written by Sylvester Stallone.
Yes.
I don't even know how...
You know who's in it? You ready for who's in it?
I
Besides
forget.
all of these people?
Who?
Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo's in it. It's like...
This is a perfect jet lag proof. Now, on top of that, I would add, for instance, the Muppets, because you've never seen the Muppets.
Yes.
And that's great jet lag proof fun. Any of those great cartoons, the Muppets. I wouldn't put Fantastic Mr. Fox on there, not because it's not wonderful. It actually is. But you do actually need to pay attention a little bit during that movie.
Well said. That's well said.
So I would pick one of those, knowing me. I would pick... yeah, you might put RoboCop there, but RoboCop's a little dark. It's probably the new RoboCop. I wouldn't put that on anything ever.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it's aggressively bad.
Like you think you have it. It's like it's aggressively, and it's like slippery bad. You think you know not just how bad, but the way it's bad, and it's like, ooh, faked you, and it like jukes to the left, and it's worse and in a different way.
Yeah.
It just makes me sad.
I haven't seen this movie either. I might put the Lego Movie in this category, which I have seen.
I think so. But
it's a good one. But it's good, and this category might need some iffy quality.
I wish. So my only problem with putting in this category, and I agree with you that it belongs here, is that it's so bright and frenetic that I would worry. It's the Lord of the Rings issue.
Yeah, you might be right. I think that's a good point. So don't do that. I think Muppet is great. I think Muppets is a great pick. I think Homefront would be a great pick. And I think I'm going to add. Okay, I think I'm going to add. Well, To Catch a Thief is on there.
Love it.
Okay,
Love it.
And then the other
God,
one that I saw, I haven't seen this movie, but this is the kind of movie I would get tricked into watching on an airplane.
Okay.
The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I'm assuming the newer one.
Yes.
I would put myself in a position to watch that on an airplane. That's the kind of thing I would do.
I have seen it and I liked it. I think it's a little bit slow for the, and no, I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. I just think it's a little deliberate, maybe for this particular category.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, but it's
the kind. Well, no, that's really good to help me see that, because I would see it as the kind of movie I would put in this category. But I'm glad that it doesn't belong there. So that's good.
It's 75 to 80% of like the crazy wacky
is actually not
is like in the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
And then it actually calms the hell down, and it yeah. No,
I never wanted something to calm down.
I know, right?
All right, so
I have a movie for this category,
perfect,
and it is a movie I
knew
have
you
seen, and you will love it. And I don't think you've seen it, and you should see it. You should take a plane trip just so you watch it, if this is the only way you'll watch it.
Yeah.
Grudge Match.
I had a feeling this would get in this category by you. I really did.
Man,
I'm just so turned off by this movie without having seen it. I really am. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just so turned off by it that I can't imagine seeing it. But I keep hearing that it's like not as terrible as I think it's going to be.
Much like the last Rocky movie, Rocky Balboa, it is better than I thought it would be, and it is way, way better than it had to be. Because you know that they would have made, unless De Niro and Stallone and like Alan Arkin and Kevin Hart just went crazy with their contract demands, that movie's making its money back, right? Just because of the poster, right?
Yep.
Those two guys boxing, right? So it didn't have to be literally any good at all, and
That's
it
true.
was and it was enjoyable. It really was. It more care was put into it than I thought it would. Than I thought there would be, and the final fight it's legit. It's legit.
Okay.
It's legit.
Okay.
So,
if I get myself on a plane, I may watch it.
I'm telling you, it's a red box night. I think you and your lovely wife would quite enjoy it. I'm just going to throw it out there. Just throw it out there. Yeah, because there are no other good movies that you haven't seen, or that you would want to rewatch. That's clearly.
I don't think that a good movie needs to be good. I think you're listing exactly the kind of movie that should be seen on an airplane.
Sure. What do you think? And what do you think about Minority Report for this category? Because it's an action movie. And I
think Minority Report is actually a good airplane movie.
Yeah,
I think it's better. I think it'd be better on an airplane than it would. I think it'd be better on an airplane than in real life. I think that's actually right.
Than in real life. I like it.
I think that would fit this category. That's good. All right. Our next category is mealtime, specifically appropriate for viewing during in-flight meals. Okay, look, Andy.
Yeah.
Big night.
Yes.
Although it's funny because you're going to be looking at food that's way better than the food you're eating.
That's fair.
The answer is big night.
That's true.
It really is.
Yes.
Because when you're eating, you're paying it. You can you kind of you pay attention to the movie, like you really do.
Yeah.
You'll pay attention.
I
think Big Night is a good choice. I think this might be another area where Goodfellas would belong. Actually. Mm-hmm. There's a phenomenal food eating sequence in that movie, but so you'd have to time it right. When you see them bring out the carts, start Goodfellas, and then you might get to the thing by the time the thing.
Nice. I would go just because it's one that I bet you've seen more recently than say Look Who's Talking. I might go with Mean Girls here because Mean Girls at this point for people of our generation, I feel like it's like comfort food.
That's fair.
I
do.
Yeah, I think Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs too. I don't know if that's any good. I have not seen either movie.
Good call. Fantastic call. Not only is that true, but you don't have to see the first one to see the second one, believe it or not.
Fantastic.
You could.
Fantastic.
But it's phenomenal just as is. I think that's a fantastic call.
Thank you. Thanks. Here's one. Here's a weird one. This is not necessarily a very good movie, but I don't think it's as bad as some of the pans had it. Labor Day. You're
going to make them watch that during... Isn't that like slow, crazy?
It's slow, but a lot of the scenes are about them making pies.
No?
And stuff. It's like a lot of them are about making pies. So.
Nope.
No?
For me, but you know what? I will watch it when it's on cable, probably.
Yeah.
If it comes on HBO during my vacation, I'll probably watch it. So maybe.
Here's the deal. It's not a great movie, but it's a good movie. What Jason Reitman's trying to do with that movie is make like a pot boiler. He's trying to make like a Harlequin romance type of movie, and I think he generally succeeds with it. And so the food scenes are almost like fetishized. That's
interesting.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I would actually go back and put Junebug in the mealtime category.
Nice. I like that.
I think it's a good pick. All right. Our next category is our last category, and I think is there anything else that needs to be said during this category?
I don't think so. I think we're
Andy, why don't you announce the next category?
Perfect. Wait. Perfect?
You spelled it differently.
It's perfect. Perfect.
PAIR. Perfect.
Oh yes. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you. These are movies that Evan should insist Josie watch with him. She hates superhero movies. So let's go with X-Men
Thor.
First Class.
Thor 2.
Yes.
Thor 7.
Yes. G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Okay. Okay.
Jack Ryan's Shadow
Oh my gosh. You're naming a bunch of movies. Requite?
Requite.
Is this French? Is this Jack Ryan in France? This is a fantastic category.
Love it.
Movies that you can watch with your lady friend.
Yep.
The Muppets.
Yes.
Big. Watch Big.
Yes.
That's why I didn't put Big in the other category, because you need to watch Big with your girl. If she hasn't seen it, even if she has, if one of you hasn't and the other one has, or neither of you have, watch Big together. It will change your life and your love. You will love each other forever.
He hasn't seen it, and how could you have grown up even in a part of the 80s and not seen Big? Anyway, but like
don't worry about his heart.
I put it in both. I put it in both categories. Like I wanted to.
So watch it with her.
Yes.
Watch that with her.
Yes.
Dinner. By the way, back to mealtime. I think Fantastic Mr. Fox would be good during mealtime.
Oh, nice. Yes, I agree.
Okay. So, anyways,
I'm gonna go with Stranger Than Fiction. Stranger Than Fiction.
He's already seen it, but that's fine. You're allowed to do that. I'm not allowing that.
I am allowed to do that. I'm a master of the world.
You are. I'm going to go back to the Age of Innocence, although it is about people cheating, and sometimes women hate watching that. But
Sure.
It's better to watch it with them than without them, because if you watch it with them, you could be like, awful.
Right.
Awful.
Right.
But if you're without them and they're like, why did you watch that? Oh, you had waited till I was gone? I don't really know. I don't know what the answer is.
I need to back up. I need to back up not just one category but two to the like the jet lag proof movies. For Out of the Furnace. It's a weird little movie with like an A-list cast. There's Woody Harrelson and Christian Bale and Casey Affleck and Willem Dafoe. It's just a lot of great actors in it. It's kind of like a sleazy little story about revenge, and I just think it would hold your attention. That's it. I think
that's great.
Yeah. So, 2 on the nose to put in the perfect category. The Notebook. 2 on the nose. You think?
I just will never watch it, so I don't know.
Neither will I.
So that's my answer for you.
That's fair. Enough said.
Tim's Vermeer, if you want to seem smart.
Nice. Okay.
And Enough Said, which I still haven't seen and you have, but already goes in that category. That's exactly the kind of movie you should be watching with your wife.
Yes.
It's exactly the kind of movie you should watch.
Yes. Enough Said.
Enough Said. Enough Said and Big and the Muppets, and you're going to be home, man. You're in good shape.
It's true. Let's see. Anything else that I think you should watch with Josie? I mean, I think she'd like a lot of these movies, frankly.
Sure.
Yeah. Wow. Thor and Thor 2 are on here. I didn't see Thor: The Dark World. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. I think.
And then here's my other thing you're gonna love, but I actually think this. Depending on how much time you have, like, whichever one she wants to watch, just watch it.
It's true.
There's a movie on there called The Pretty One. Have you heard about this movie?
No.
This girl is. I want to see this movie. The girl is Zoe Kazan, and Zoe Kazan plays twin sisters, and one of them is really popular and pretty, even though they're identical.
Right.
And one is like not. And the one who's really pretty and popular dies. But they think that it's the other one that dies. So she becomes her popular sister. Or it's the other way around where the really cool one, smart one dies and the pretty one lives. But whichever one, they think it's the other one that died. And so she ends up inhabiting her sister.
Fascinating.
I know, and that's all I know about it.
Ooh.
I saw one preview for it and it was fantastic. So that's on the list. I would throw that in here, and specifically as a movie to watch with your wife because it's about a girl. Like the main character's a girl, and it's about her figuring out who she is. Listen to the other people in the cast: Ron Livingston, Jake Johnson. You know what? I'll just stop there. Ron Livingston and Jake Johnson.
Love it.
Danny Pudi. You know who Danny Pudi is?
Sure, I do.
So, anyways, you're gonna want to see that movie. Cool. All right, so that's my list. I think that I'm spent in terms of. I think you got a lot of great choices. New and old.
Evan, it's
Mix
good that
it
you
up.
came to us. It's good that you came to us.
It's good you came to the right place. Have a seat.
Yeah.
Listen, here's my biggest advice. I don't know how many movies. I don't know how long the flight is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many movies you're going to get in. You're going to get at least 2 and maybe 3. So I would suggest mix it up.
Yeah. Yep.
Just be careful. Go with your gut in terms of mood. If you're feeling like a funny movie, don't force yourself into a slow movie.
Right.
Like, airplane is your fantasy land, man. Have a good time.
Yeah, as much as we love, Big Night and Nebraska, if you're in the mood for zany, don't watch either of those movies.
No. Right.
Yeah.
There is literally not a mood you can be in that Goodfellas will not fit.
That's true, though. That's true.
I just don't know. I know I'm just like, whatever. I mean, the movie's now 24 years old. I'm not saying anything new. But, I mean, holy moly.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Evan, have a safe trip.
Have a safe trip. Come to North Carolina. I mean, you're not gonna. You're not gonna.
Hey, Andy.
Hey, what?
Guess who's going to be in North Carolina in 2 weeks?
Who's that?
This guy.
Where?
Raleigh.
Second Breakfast Nation. This is the first I'm hearing of it, and we're going to have to stop now so I can continue to talk to Phil about how I'm going to, I don't know, ambush him, and I don't care why he's here. He's hanging out with me all day, every day.
Yeah, that's
totally.
happening.
Okay, good. Wow. Well, Evan, I echo everything that Phil said. Have a wonderful time. Give Josie our love.
True.
And
it's
and give your families my love, certainly, and I'll just say
at least
our
Andy's.
love.
No,
at least my love. And that's that'll do it. If you have further questions, folks, Evan or anyone in the world who is not Evan, email us at secondbreakfastpodcast@gmail.com or like us on Facebook and get at us there, or on Twitter at 2ndbkfst. There are ways to get in touch with us. We live in a gilded age. We live in the future.
Find us.
You can.
Not personally. Please don't come to my house. Please don't come to my house.
Please
or call my cell phone.
Please go to Phil before you come to my house.
Don't do either. Just email me or Facebook me. And I want to just finish by saying to Evan, to Josie, and to all our listeners, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome, folks. This has been another Second Breakfast podcast.
Pleasure's been all yours.
For Second Breakfast, I am Andy Roth, and that is Phil Duvall. We'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
The most important meal of the day, second breakfast.